and welcome back to another episode of Bite-Sized Books. If you're new to the channel, my online handle is Minimac. My government name is Ashley. You can call me whatever you like. Today I'm going to be reviewing 5 Wishes by Hendricks. This is a just over 2-hour Audible. I believe it's 2 hours and 8 minutes. So I definitely recommend checking it out. 5 Wishes is a book that kind of works in reverse. It essentially asks you to picture yourself at the end of your life, basically on your deathbed, and looking back and stating what made your life successful in your eyes. So if you're feeling like you need a little bit of direction in life or just a little bit more clarity to hone in on your goals, I definitely recommend this book. So this works by using 5 questions/steps. As I said, we're working backwards. So I'll share the questions and the steps with you, and then I'll show you what it looked like for me. Do you have a sacred mission or not? What would make your life a total success? Take those and make them into present tense statements. Get clear on the goals, commit to them, and then choose a 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And don't stare at the wrecks on the highway. Keep on driving. So if you have a little slip up or make a little mistake, don't dwell on it. Just keep moving forward. So I went ahead and broke my 5 wishes down into 5 categories that I wanted to focus on: love, work, faith, growth, and stability. So my first statement would look like this. My life is a success because I have built and maintained happy, healthy, loving relationships with my partner, my friends, and my family. That was for love. My life is a success because I work regularly on my spirituality and personal development. I know that I'm divinely guided and protected. That was for work. My life is a success because I learned to find balance, peace, and security not only within myself, but with everyone and everything around me, because I know that we are all connected. That was for faith. My life is a success because I learned how to break ancestral traumas. I empowered myself to learn how to move past scarcity mindset, fear, abuse, and many other things that come from generational traumas. And that was for growth. And finally, my life is a success because I have earned enough money to make a difference in multiple people's lives. And that was for stability. So I really liked this book because I liked the idea of working backwards. It definitely made it easier for me to define my goals, and as we've learned with Atomic Habits, The Power of Now, Think and Grow Rich, all of these things boil down to the same point, which is to practice gratitude and act as if you have already experienced the things that you're wishing and hoping to experience. So this is a phenomenal way to do that. If you consider, just thinking about being in the last moments of your life, what would you reflect back upon and be happiest about and proudest of? What would make your life look successful to you at the end of it? And just like in many of the other books I review, meditation is a key tool in this process. Meditating and acting as if and pretending as if it's already happened. We already have it. We've already experienced it. Meditation's a great way to do that. Transcendental meditation, I believe, is what Gay uses. So if you're just lacking a little bit of direction and would like just a little bit of guidance and help to try to see where you could be putting a little more time and energy, I really do think that this is a spectacular book to help do that. And just remember to be really gentle with yourself. It takes a long time to break old habits. It takes quite a while to create new habits. Just be kind to yourself. If you make a mistake, just acknowledge it as a period to reflect upon and to grow from and to learn from, not to beat yourself up over. If you enjoyed this review, or if you have any other books you'd like me to review, please let me know in the comments below. I have a subscription to Audible. I am so open to checking out anything and everything people suggest. In fact, a lot of the books I review were suggestions, so I definitely appreciate the suggestions. Sometimes I get really overwhelmed trying to decide what to learn and review next. If you've got anything in mind, let me know in the comments below. I hope this review was helpful to you in some way. I'm wishing you all peace, love, and light, saying stay blessed, and bye for now.
Because it left me with a question that I've been asking myself, and every time I ask myself the question, I get more in touch with who I am and what I want in my life. And he said, I've reinvented my whole life over the past 6 months since I discovered this question. So guess what my next question was? What's the question? And so I'll ask it to you, just like Ed asked it to me. Imagine yourself looking back over your whole life from the end of your life. Imagine, roll the clock forward however many years you think you're going to be around, 30 or 40 years or 10 years or whatever you think, and put yourself at an imaginary end point in your life. And imagine that I come to visit you and I say, was your life a success? And you're either going to say, yes, it was, or no, it wasn't. If you said, yes, it was, what would be the one thing above all that you'd be referring to that made your life a success? And if your life were not a success, imagine saying, no, my life wasn't a success. What would be the one thing that you'd be referring to that made your life not a success? Well, at the moment he asked me that question, my mind kind of went whoosh. And I'd never really thought of that before. And so it really, just in that moment, I said, well, to be honest, I'd have to say, no, my life had not been a success. And he said, why? What is that one thing? And I'd say, well, the one thing is that I really want to create a long-lasting love relationship with a woman with whom I can grow and we can grow together over time. And until that came out of my mouth, I don't think I'd realized that was the most important thing in my life. See, by then I'd already published a few books and I was a professor and had gotten my PhD, and so things were going great in that area of my life. But when I really tuned into it, I realized if I were at the end of my life and I had to say, no, I had never created a really great relationship, well, what good is a PhD in counseling psychology from Stanford if I can't learn to get along with one person, And so I realized that above all else, that was the one thing that would make my life a success. And he said, have you experienced that yet? And I said, no. And he said, well, get busy. And